Today, chefs, are going to be making our Bobolo. That's right, our cheese, because it's not really a cheese, but it does count. It is an integral part to many of the other cheeses that we're going to be making, because we're going to be fermenting this, and this is one of the most popular roots in South America. In some parts of the world, nobody's ever known or seen or heard of it, but it's also known as yuca, cassava, and manioc. So if you can't get the fresh, in the recipe it talks about using tapioca pearls, but it's much better for this recipe to use fresh. So get manioc. Now, when you get your yuca, you do want to have a really sharp knife. And then now we're going to be cutting it into very small pieces because we're going to be fermenting it just in water. And depending upon your climate, it will take anywhere from 3 to 5 days, or maybe even up to 3 weeks. So cut your manioc or yuca and get fermenting. Once you have your yuca all cut up into small pieces, as a small dice, you want to cover it with fresh, clean water and then place it in an area of your room, your kitchen. Cover it with a tea towel and now let it do its magic. So it's going to take about, like I mentioned, 3, 5, 7, or even 21 days to ferment. So what we're looking for is for each of these pieces of the yuca to be soft and squishy. You want a nice, fresh, fermenty smell, not anything sour or rancid, but a tangy, fermenty, cheesy smell. So remember, chefs, I have cut my yuca root. So this is what the yuca looks like. I've cut it into small bite-sized pieces. It has been fermenting now for almost 2 weeks. So it has a really nice, fresh, clean scent. A lot of my students get worried. They say, wait a minute, what should it look like? Well, the water should look a little bit, well, let's see, I'm going to tip most of this off and get rid of almost all of this water, but I'm going to reserve a little bit of it. So the water itself is going to look a little bit cloudy, but no mold, nothing gray, nothing green, nothing that looks like a science project. So you can see there, it's just kind of a nice, fresh looking, almost like kombucha or something like that. It does have a nice effervescent smell to it. So it definitely smells fermented. And these are a lot softer than they were, but I reserved some of the liquid because depending upon your blender, you might need to add a little bit more liquid to make it a little bit easier to blend. Now, depending upon your volume, I'm going to put about half this in here. I'll put a little bit in there, but not too much. So I'm extremely happy with this thick paste-like consistency. You want it to be thin enough to pour, and we're going to be now putting it in some aluminum foil. I don't have banana leaves. I don't have access to them here, so I'm just using regular old aluminum foil. I have some students who can get banana leaves and not the yucca, and other ones can get the yucca and not the banana leaves. So you just want to pour a little bit. You can make these any shape or any size because we're using these really in other recipes. But classically, these were made and given as gifts, and they're going to be, they're often in long sticks. So I just want to fold this up and create a packet. For those of you who have made seitan, it's in a similar way. This will puff up a little bit, and then I'm going to fold in both the ends. You can make them longer and thinner. I'm going to do another longer, thin one. It's your choice. But bear in mind, I am going to be steaming these, so you want to make sure they'll fit in your steamer on your pot on the stove. So you don't want to make them too long. All right, so I'm going to do another. The biggest mistake students make is that they have some of it coming out the end. So, and that's oftentimes because they make it too thin. Now you just want to put a pot on the stove and steam these away. So this is a steamer basket I have as an insert. If you don't have that, you can make your own. It's much easier if you have something like this. But there are other size baskets. You'll just have to make smaller packets. Steam these for about 45 minutes, and then you can use them as you like.